If you eat a shawarma, you're going to see those shawarma moving through your veins or in your skin. What happened? The shawarma has been digested. Hence, digestion is the breakdown of the large molecules of those shawarma or food into simple absorbable form by the human being. Now, for this process of digestion to take place, there are some organs and glands that will be associated. The collective works of these organs and glands form what we call system. Now, because they are working for the digestion, we call them digestive system. Hence, digestive system are those organs and glands associated with the breaking down of the large molecules of food into simple absorbable form. Remember that the collective work of cell gives us organ, and the collective works of organ will result to a system. Digestion of food in human beings starts from the mouth, which consists of the teeth, the salivary gland, and then the tongue. The teeth breaks down the food into tiny particles, whereby the salivary gland consists of an enzyme called pyrene. This pyrene breaks down starch and converts starch to maltose there in the mouth. The tongue helps to roll the food into bottles and also aid in the movement of food in the mouth. Another function of this salivary gland is that it serves as a solvent for the food there in the mouth. After this digestion in the mouth, the food now passes through the esophagus, whose lining is the tongue, and by a peristaltic movement enters the stomach. Here in the stomach, the food is temporarily stored for a few hours. During these hours, the gastric gland found in the stomach secretes a gastric juice which contains two enzymes named the renin and the pepsin. This renin emulsifies milk or acts on milk or curdles milk, while the pepsin act on protein, converting protein to peptose here in the stomach. Now, for these two enzymes to be able to act on, there must be an acidic medium. Hence, the gastric juice also produces a hydrochloric acid, which will provide the acidic medium for these two enzymes to be able to act on. Now, for this hydrochloric acid, it also helps to kill bacteria that may have come down with the food into the stomach. The mixing of food here in the stomach with these two enzymes called renin and pepsin is aided by muscular contraction of the walls of the stomach, or you can call it a churning movement. Now, this churning movement ends in converting the food into a semi-liquid called chyme. Now, this chyme or the food is now released at regular interval through a spirotic filter into the duodenum. Now, at this duodenum, digestion of food also takes place. The duodenum consists of pancreas, which has pancreatic juice that contains two enzymes named amylase, lipase, and trypsin. Remember that as you're eating the food, you're not going to wait until the pyrene secreted by this salivary gland is to digest all the starch to maltose. So you're going to be eating and be swallowing and eating and be swallowing. Hence, there is still more starch on that food. Therefore, when the food now reaches to the duodenum, the amylase will still convert the starch to maltose. Now, this lipase will now act on fat and oil to convert fat to fatty acid and convert oil to glycerol. Now, the breaking down of this fat is aided by a green pigment called bile, which is produced or secreted from the liver and stored in the gallbladder. All right. After this digestion in the duodenum, the food now passes through the small intestine, which is found between the large intestine and the duodenum. Here in the intestine, two major events take place. The first one is digestion of food, and the second one is the absorption of food. Now, the intestine, the walls of the intestine secreted an intestinal juice, which consists of 5 enzymes named lipase, ellipsin, maltase, sucrase, and lactase. Now, this lipase converts fat and oil to fatty acid and glycerol. That is to show that there are still fat and oil which have not been fully converted from here, but here it is now going to fully convert it to fatty acid and glycerol. Now, ellipsin will now convert this protein that was at first converted from here to peptones, and now in the duodenum converted from peptones to polypeptides. Now, in the small intestine, the enzyme named ellipsin will now convert these peptides to amino acid. Okay, now the maltase will convert maltose to 2 units of glucose. The sucrase is going to convert sucrose to glucose and fructose, while the lactase is going to convert lactose to glucose and galactose. Now, that is the end of the digestion in the small intestine with this enzyme to the individual substance. Now, the absorption is going to take place with a finger-like structure called a virus, structurized something of this form. The amino acid, which is the end product of protein, and the glucose is going to be easily absorbed at the epithelium of this virus, and so on with the other substance. Lastly, the undigested food substance is going to pass through this large intestine where water is going to be absorbed from the food and is going to leave the food in a physics-like structure, which is going to pass through the rectum and finally to the anus. However, the function of cecum and appendix has not been identified in digestion, but we know that it is helpful during cellular digestion or cellular formation, the appendix. Now, things you should remember about digestion is number one, the end product of protein is amino acid, which started from the stomach to be converted to peptones, and in the duodenum was converted to polypeptides, and now in the small intestine was converted to amino acid. Also, the end product of fat and oil is fatty acid and glycerol, and the end product of starch, which starts from the mouth and was converted to the small intestine, is the maltose. And you should also be well familiar with the glands that are found in the individual organs associated with the digestion of food. So that in the mouth you have the salivary gland to the pharynx, and here in the what? Pancreas, which is the duodenum, you have amylase, lipase, and trypsin. In the stomach, you have renin and pepsin, and where in the small intestine, you have this. So this is very important, and you also have to know the semi form of liquid of food in the stomach is called chyme, and the final liquid form is now called chyle. All right, thank you. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the plus button and also like this video. Let me know what you think on the comment section. In my next class, I'll be taking some questions based on JAMB and WAEC on digestive system.